What's going on, everybody? I am Troy with Marks on Media. How y'all doing? It is Thanksgiving week. If you are here in America, across the world, it's just another week for you. So whatever, outside of the states, but we're having a good day. We're having a good day. Well, I'm hoping I start having a good day. I got the week off, so that's cool for me. On the flip side, it is not such a hot day for me. I've had such sinus issues like a freaking week, man. They won't go away. I don't know what the hell to do. I've been taking medicine and trying to deal with it. My wife is even worse off than I am, so she has much more reason to be upset than me and to complain. Plus, she works all week while sick, so um, she's being cautious and whatever where she works. So it's not like she doesn't have anything catchy. It's just like sinus infection and all that stuff. You know, anybody in the Midwest, you know what I'm talking about. It kind of happens around this time of year every freaking year, no matter what. Some people get hit with it worse than others. I usually get sinus infections. I think that's coming on. I'm not happy about it. Hey, what's up, Noah? Hey, Noah wants to say hi. Hey, buddy, what's up? Swear to God, I'm not a lonely cat person. I mean, I just did talk about my wife, so oh, cat butt, cat butt. All right, hey, buddy. He hears Daddy talking, and he has to come say hi every freaking time. I don't mind it though. Yeah, so how's everybody's week going so far? We got like I said, here in the States at least, we got Thanksgiving coming up. I already had one Thanksgiving on Saturday. My sister-in-law cooked, so I cooked some stuff. My mother-in-law cooked some stuff. It was kind of bring everything. She did the turkey. She's never done a turkey before. It turned out really good. So yeah, and she had a ham. Best of both worlds. Hey, bud. So yeah, it was all good. And I got one. It's just gonna be me and my wife on Thursday, actual Thanksgiving. So she does not get the week off, but she gets Thursday and Friday off. So we're gonna enjoy that. I'm gonna do some gaming, man. I wanted to, while people are filing in, I wanted to share something like right off the bat, because I wanted to get back into. I got my Nintendo Switch sitting right here, actually. The only reason I have this is because of my former co-host on the main event marks, Greg, who I mentioned passed away. I just did some dedication podcasts for him. The only reason I have this is because he was upgrading to an OLED Switch, and he sold this to me with like all his attachments, carrying case, everything for like $100. Freaking nuts, man. I had to buy my own games, but dude, after he sold this to me for $100, that's nuts. But I've been playing. You can't see probably what it is. Hogwarts Legacy. I waited for it to. Yeah, it's not going to focus. But I've been playing that. I dropped out of all gaming for a while, but this is the time of year I'm getting new games for Christmas for sure. I don't know if I'm going to pick up anything on Black Friday per se. I got like a graveyard of games that I've started, haven't finished. Ghost of Tsushima, The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, uh, and this Hogwarts Legacy. So 3 different systems. And Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I got all of them, started them, got to a decent part, and just fell off. I don't know, but gonna get back into it. But what I was gonna share was, the Hogwarts Legacy thing. I've been in the mood to play it lately, and my wife has never been a Harry Potter fan. She grew up. We're religious, just throwing that out there, but she grew up very religious, like Pentecostal, lockdown, kind of, very guarded. I introduced her to a lot of geek culture she wasn't allowed to get into growing up. Harry Potter was one of them, but she always thought, she was like, I don't really care if I get into Harry Potter. It looks kind of lame. She watched through the movies with me once, barely paid attention. She hated them. She's like, whatever. I just don't care. Never really gave it much of a try. Last night, she decided, I'm going to give Harry Potter another try. Whatever. Okay, I was like, "Fine, I've been wanting to rewatch them forever. I wanna get back into Hogwarts Legacy. This will kinda get me in the mood, whatever." She finally played the first one. I can tell how like, I'm not an animated person. I just kinda sit there. My wife's like, "You don't laugh a whole lot, whatever." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't get super animated while watching things." She does. So when she starts commenting throughout the movie like, "Oh, no," and "Oh, what?" And, different stuff like that, like, I know she's getting into it, and at the end, I'm like, "So do you like it?" She's like, "Yeah, I really liked it." And, she started playing the second one, like, instantly. So I was like, "Okay, cool." So I get to rewatch the, Harry Potter films with my wife, for Christmas. Awesome. Uh, and, speaking of which, text me about my dog. Yeah, so it's gonna be a happy holiday for me, and a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year, and all that good stuff. So, there were 8 films, I think. 8, 7 books, 8 films. So it's gonna take a while to get through them. I'm fine with it. Well, we rewatched through speaking of my dog, sorry. Hold on one second. You might hear a little bit of yep, there you go. Here's a puppy in the background. Uh, she can't get in here because the way I have everything set up for my stream, she can't get into the office. Otherwise, you'd see some doggo. I wanted to play something here. There we go. Okay, that's a better view for this. I want to play something here before we get into the stories. This just dropped, so I wanted to cover it a little bit. I'm gonna have to. It's gonna be really annoying because I'm gonna pause it. I hope Disney doesn't uh, hit me with the ban hammer over this. But where is it? There we go. Okay. I'm going to. Can I put that? No, I can't put anything in the center. Dang. So I was gonna try to obfuscate it, but here we go. Here's what we got for this is the newly dropped like a big giant turd Snow White trailer. Let's watch along here.
This was my father.
All right, so there's Snow Brown, Snow Taupe, whatever you want to call her, and the Wishing Well.
Father's kingdom. A place of fairness.
Okay, so I know people dog on the CGI, whatever. I do too. So far, it looks fine. I don't know.
But the queen.
There we go. There's Gal Gadot. Uh, the comment keeps swirling around. I don't think Rachel Zegler's ugly. All right, but people they're like, this is supposed to be jealous of Rachel Zegler. Like, give me a break. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I get it.
Change everything. Take him away.
I am assuming that's the prince, and she's gonna have to save him. That's what I've been hearing anyway.
Majesty.
What did you say?
The people need some kindness.
Yeah. So, the Lord Farquaad hair. That is not Snow White hair.
You know, I really don't remember you being this
Okay. Like I said, it's gonna be annoying. I gotta keep pausing it, but
opinionated.
I hate having to do this, by the way. But
Magic mirror on the wall. Who is
what does it look like? You're the fairest of them all. Let's just end the movie here.
Them all.
Famed is thy beauty, man.
Okay, so on one hand, it kind of looks like the cartoon version. On the other hand, ew. I feel like they got better CGI in the parks for this kind of stuff. What is this? It looks like claymation.
Majesty. A lovely maiden.
So he's not a prince, he's a pauper? Is that it? Is that what he's going to be in this one?
Now behold.
And look at you.
Oh, he's just a peasant below Snow White. She's got to be the best.
And I just want to be.
Oh God.
The fairest of them all.
Sure. Oh, there's the heart-shaped box, or well, the box is heart-shaped, but you know what I mean.
The queen
box.
is evil. You must flee into the woods.
Generic. So wait a minute. Is that the huntsman? I mean, I don't care, whatever. But another one, they're like, more diversity. All 7 of them CGI dwarves are white after all. I mean, whatever. Like I said, I don't give a crap what color the freaking huntsman is, but it's like, you know why. Whatever.
Flee into the woods.
This March. Oh, is it set finally? Are they actually going to do it? Oh, gosh. That dress is way too bright. Way too yellow.
My parents.
My wife is a big stickler for that. She, like, this is her princess. She loves Snow White. She cosplays as her all the time. I've showed a picture of her cosplaying as Snow White before in a few of my videos.
Always said this forest was a magical place.
Girl, why you wet? I know they're gonna probably show it in the movie, but girl, why you wet? And not in a fun way. Oh, there's the house she's gonna break into, B&E, and not she's gonna like the old Dane Cook B&E joke. Bacon and eggs? No, that's delicious. I can do that anytime. No, breaking and entering. We're gonna see. Oh, they.
Hello?
So they're complicit. The forest animals are complicit in breaking and entering. That is a
Anybody
federal
here?
crime, sirs and ma'ams. Those shoes are very bright red. Hi ho. She lays across their beds. It goes from very bright to very dark. Holy crap! That's CGI, man. That'd probably be my reaction too. What the F? 7-on-1, man. Jeez.
It's a huge.
By the way, not that you asked, but I'm drinking Red Thunder. If any of you have an Aldi around you, you can get a 4-pack for like $5. Tastes just like Red Bull.
What did you think I was?
Nothing. Ghost.
Okay. Who the F is that one?
You'll
Happy?
be safe from the
'Cause that's Doc, obviously. I'm assuming that's Happy with the big brown beard. Let's dance around your house. I'll dance and sing while you guys do your chores.
The queen
Because
stole everything.
I busted in and told you what the F to do. Very diverse kingdom. That's every kingdom in
All of us. I'm gonna need your help.
modern day Disney. I mean, whatever. It's a fantasy. Okay, so I guess this is not the original fairy tale,
It's
or
time
it's
to
based
restore
based
our kingdom.
pretty much like a German fantasy. It's fine, whatever. I'm not so hot on it as other people. It does piss me off on occasion when they do it for specific reasons, and you know why. So that anybody who says this is awful, they're like, yeah, but you're racist. So oh, is that a new original song? God. Sometimes the original songs hit. Like, I don't know. The one in Beauty and the Beast, Evermore, is pretty divisive. Me and my wife like it. A lot of people hate it.
Hoping somehow, some way.
Mines. This is not the classic story.
Find
Why?
Snow White.
There's the pauper, not the prince. You're just a dude in this one. No, it does not come to life. What the F was that? And what is she? What is that? Her rags dress?
The girl I'm meant to be. This is our kingdom.
You're supposed to vanquish, like, well, actually, no. Snow White doesn't vanquish the evil queen. The dwarves. My wife and I have talked about this. The 7 dwarves are actually the heroes of the whole story. Because not only do they take her in and save her life, whatever, they're the ones that they chase the evil queen as the old nasty lady up up a mountain and cause her to plummet to her ultimate demise. But I guarantee Snow White's going to save herself in this one.
Now we're here to take it back.
You were saying.
That's a very colorful dress there, lady. What's with the colors in this? Is that what she looks like? That can't be Gal Gadot behind there.
I'm sorry, my dear.
If so, that's the best looking thing of the whole movie is the prosthetics on Gal Gadot.
Did I frighten you?
Yeah. I don't. God. Hi-ho. Skulls that act like humans. Well, March. Well, now we know what to look out for. Look out like a giant bomb or asteroid headed straight to Earth. Oh God. I would rather watch Brett Cooper's Snow White and the Evil Queen. It's going to be on Daily Wire Plus next year. I hope they have the film ready so that it drops in March, because they were planning on dropping it like at the same time as this Snow White, just to troll and to, whatever. But I hope it's actually good, and I will watch it. Not this piece of crap from Disney. No. That can go F itself. Burn in the fires of hell. Figuratively, of course. Speaking of things at Disney, burning in the eternal fires of hell. Let's stick with Rachel Zegler for this one. Unfortunately, I saw this and I had to do a double take. I'm like, wait, what? Marvel wants Rachel Zegler for an unidentified role. What is Kevin Feige thinking from that Park Place? Marvel could be eyeing in two different directions, because that's how her eyes go. Anyway, Marvel could be eyeing none other than the controversial Snow White actress Rachel Zegler for an as yet unknown role with the MCU. Just when you think Kevin Feige's decision making couldn't be any more questionable, reports like this start making the rounds. Hollywood scooper My Time to Shine Hello recently stated that, or on X, that Marvel was interested in casting the 23-year-old Snow White actress. Despite a string of unhinged public meltdowns, it caused huge controversy for Disney. Just when I thought Marvel was heating up and they were going to do well, they pull something like this. Obviously, it's not confirmed. And you see here, it's unclear what, if any, role she'd take. It's possible Zegler could become a key player in Marvel's upcoming reboot of the X-Men, or some other character from its vast comic library. Yeah. And it's also unclear why Marvel would want to work with Zegler given the actress's recent online antics. Yeah, what the F, Marvel? Just when you think Marvel is coming back, like, there's this meme, and it's like, it's more about the quality of Marvel than it is about the fans. But it was like, it'll show something that looks good for Marvel, and it's like, oh, Marvel's so back, and then it shows something terrible, and it's like, oh, Marvel's dead. And then, the cycle keeps repeating. That's because Marvel isn't consistent with anything nowadays. Everything is like either decent, not great, but decent, or trash. Like WandaVision was decent. Everything since then has been fairly trash. I didn't finish Wanda, or not Wanda. What's the Agatha. I haven't finished Agatha yet. It seemed okay, but apparently they're setting up for a Young Avengers too. Ugh. Who could possibly care? I don't know. But yeah, Rachel Zegler, like, after the money she's gonna cost Disney, like, Bob Iger needs to step in and be like, yo, Kev, no. That's a hard no from me, dog. Like, why? You should never give her a chance ever again. Ever. What is wrong with you? Whatever. Marvel gonna Marvel, like, yeah. And Disney gonna Disney. Check this one out. Getting into the box office stuff here, because this just dropped over the weekend, actually. Wicked and Gladiator 2. Come on. As soon as I share the page. But is it going to work? We'll see. All right, there we go. Sorry. You couldn't see what I was seeing. So, Wicked and Gladiator 2, a.k.a. Glicked, God, fueled $205 million combined over the weekend. Best pre-Thanksgiving fame in 11 years. Sunday AM box office update. I've crapped on Wicked because it's not my cup of tea and I don't like the actresses, but I said last week when I streamed, I said it's going to do well. It's going to be like a Barbie level, like, kind of movie. I've heard, like, anecdotally, I've heard mixed reviews about it, but I've heard the people that like it really effing like it. So here you go. Two of the most anticipated tentpoles this year missed their projections, but are still rich enough to make exhibition happy in what's driving an overall estimated $205 million weekend. Intelligence says that a combined 12 million people went to see Wicked and Gladiator 2, presenting 81% of the weekend's foot traffic. Everyone relish it. That's on par with the pre-Thanksgiving fame of 2019 when Frozen 2 drove all the titles to $204.9 million, and its biggest since 2013 when Lionsgate's The Hunger Games Catching Fire drove all titles to a $226.5 million marketplace. Hands down, biggest pre-Thanksgiving post-pandemic. Yeah, it I knew it was going to do well. It didn't take a genius to see that. Wicked was a huge ongoing Broadway show that they were going to turn into a movie. Casting aside, it got a lot of buzz. It is getting a lot of buzz. They put out a crap ton of merchandise and just really pumped the advertising on this thing, and everybody was talking about it, good, bad, or indifferent. Even people like Nerdrotic complimented it, and at the same time said he absolutely hated it because and it's not because the movie itself not his cup of tea. And I can respect that he was honest about it. He said the costuming was good, the singing was good, the acting was good, the set pieces were good, and he absolutely hated it. I can respect that. I've been that way with a lot of movies where it's like, not my cup of tea, but I can't say that it is objectively a bad movie. It's just not a movie for me. I've done that with various shows as well. But in here, keeping on with that, Gladiator 2 did pretty well, but Wicked was where it was at over the weekend. Kind of saw that one coming. Again, you don't have to be Nostradamus. Deadline again. Wicked Part 1, all the box office records broken. I think it's all musical theater records here. Broadway musicals adapted to the screen are an erratic genre at the box office, blah, 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 blah. Yet for every Les Miserables hit from Universal, there was a massive misfires like Dear Evan Hansen and Cats. Yeah, those ones look awful. Absolutely awful. You've also got, what was another? I just had it on the tip of my tongue, another musical that just bombed out. Sweeney Todd did pretty well as far as I know. They yeah, anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll get back to it. It's the one with Rachel Zegler. Speaking of her, the West Side Story. They remade West Side Story a few years ago, and it absolutely bombed out. But anyway, back to this. This weekend, Universal defied the odds with their feature take of the $5 billion grossing Broadway stage show Wicked, opening to $114 million domestically, $164.2 million worldwide. Here's all the records Wicked broke in its opening weekend. Biggest global and domestic opening for a movie based on a Broadway show. Wow. Yeah, that surprised me a tiny bit, but not really, just because of the subject matter. Lam is Rob and Into the Woods. Yeah, I mentioned that. Those are the two that always come to mind to think about successful musicals turned into shows, or movies. That besides like what I mentioned with Sweeney Todd, that's one of the only musicals I really like. Biggest global and domestic opening for Ariana Grande ever. Is that really a record? I guess that's just a stat. But biggest domestic opening for a pop star, with Wicked being the first film sold around the likeness of Lady Gaga. Blah 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 blah. Oh, Harry Styles. Don't worry, darling. Was that a? Oh, I think they just mean movies. Sorry, I was thinking musicals turned into movies. Biggest global and domestic opening ever for Cynthia Erivo. Well, yeah. I mean, the only other thing I can think of her being in isn't she in The Sandman? It's the only other thing I can think of. Maybe it's not her, and it just somebody looks like her, but I'm pretty sure it's her. Biggest global and domestic opening ever for filmmaker John M. Chu. Biggest domestic opening for producer Mark Platt. They're kind of padding the stats with some of these records, but yeah, biggest global. But here we go. Biggest global opening for a non-sequel film for 2024. Pretty good. Biggest opening ever for a musical featured by Steven Schwartz, and biggest domestic previews for a movie based on a Broadway musical at $19.2 million. And it goes on and on and on, blah, blah, blah. Tons of them. If you go to Deadline, you can see all that. It did really well. Bottom line, it did well. By the way, if anybody is on X right now, could you because I don't feel like looking. It's been trending all day. Could somebody tell me why the hell He Pissed on the Moon is like it's like one of the top trends and has been all freaking day. It's weird. Anyway, sorry, I wanted to share this around, y'all. Okay. I have one more point to make about Wicked. One more thing to show. We'll go over. Baymax is trending. Is something going on with Fortnite? Fortnite added Baymax? Let's see. Godzilla. Let me share this. I'll share the first couple because you never know with X. There can be corn on here sometimes, I'll say. Fortnite Chapter 6 Battle Pass leaked. Godzilla collaboration. Baymax collaboration. I can 100% confirm this leak. Sure. I mean, it looks legit. I don't know who the hell Sheena is, but Baymax is being added to Fortnite Chapter 6, according to Discussing Film. They're usually fairly accurate. I'm not going to scroll down anymore because I don't trust X to not show adult content, and I don't want to be caught on stream showing that. But anyway. That happened the other day with Scarlett Johansson was trending. Never found out why she was trending, but my God, they just bombard you with adult content involving Scarlett Johansson. Anyway, last thing involving Wicked, I wanted to go over this interview here. It is something. Oh, I need to pause it here real quick so we can go over it together. Share with the class. This freaking interview here.
Not to be corny, but make the world a safer place, especially right now. I think it's the most
With your
important work
movie?
that we can do is learn how we can listen and be there for each other and the people that we love, and especially.
Is she referring to Wicked? By making Wicked, they've made the world a safer place. Is that what she's?
The most beautiful community in the entire world.
I get so tired of that.
I love my queer brothers and sisters so much, more than anything.
We love you back.
Does she just mean in general? Because she's not queer. Okay, that guy. Look at those nails, man. That is a hell of a woman's pantsuit you're wearing.
We do.
I want to throw a theory or an idea out there. Fierro, okay? His musical number I love so much because the girls in town love him.
Mm-hmm.
But also the boys do. Bo and
Yes,
Yang.
indeed.
Who the F? Oh, God. That the Asian guy from Saturday Night Live is in there. Look, he's funny. I think he's a hilarious dude. Didn't know he was in Wicked.
Maybe Fierro likes the attention from both. I don't know.
Of course.
Well,
of
Oz
course.
is a very queer place and
I
has
think
always
so.
been.
That's what I
Yeah.
wanted to talk
Even
about.
from the L. Frank
Very
Baum
much.
books, it's always been queer.
Even
Yeah.
from the
I
books.
think so, for sure.
Even from the books, Oz has always been queer. Do you mean queer as in weird or queer as in like part of the LGBTQ community? Because if the latter, hell to the no. And the thing is, these people like Ariana Grande can drop that, and the interviewer will just, oh yeah, okay, and nod along, and not ask a single follow up like, how? What do you mean by that? What does that mean? What do you mean it's always been queer? I would like at least one or two follow-ups here because I want to know what the F you're talking about, lady. How were the books queer? If by weird, you're 100% correct. Yes, the books were weird. The original movie was weird. and there's nothing wrong with weird. If you mean queer as in weird, yeah, sure, whatever. But if you need, I need you to show your work here if you're going to be going off saying this stupid crap about, well, Oz has always been queer. Clearly, God, how do you not know this? Gosh, yikes, man. It's a sickness where they have to bring, and people are always like, "Oh, are you calling them mentally ill or whatever?" I mean, these particular people that say this stuff, yes, but not because they're part of the LGBTQ community. Uh, what their mental sickness refers to is they have to try to drag other people into their little rainbow community that clearly don't want to be a part of it. The books were not a part of it. The author was not a part of it. The original movie was not a part of it. Your movie, yes, you gated up as much as humanly possible. Good for you. That's a big hit for Broadway things. But past that, past your specific movie, no. Quit drag. That's why they dig up. They are literally digging up bodies of people and saying, "This man was clearly gay," or "He was clearly a troon," or something like that. This man clearly thought he was a woman, and all this other crap. You're dragging literal dead people into your little community here to make yourself feel better. Nobody appreciates that, and that's any community. The person is dead and can't defend themselves. Like when people try to dissect J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings to try to read crap into it that wasn't in there. Leave them alone. You can break it down or whatever, but don't try to put them into some sort of box of a community or something that they clearly had no idea what the hell it was or care for it. Oz is not queer, even in the slightest. Get over it. Just because your movie, like, good grief. Moving on to another terrible movie. I'm definitely going to watch this one. I'm probably not going to watch Wicked ever. I don't really care. This I'll watch though. Even though it bombed out. Red One review: The Rock's $250 million nepotism disaster. When talking about two Hollywood actors whose star power have diminished in just the last 5 years, you won't get better examples than Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Chris Evans in their latest film. Red One is the proof. Yeah, I'm going to try to avoid spoilers going forward, but we'll read a little bit of this. 5 years ago, The Rock was the most popular and highest paid actor in Hollywood. Around the same time, Chris Evans was playing Captain America in the biggest film franchise in cinematic history. You would figure that with both guys being such heights not that long ago, they would be doing much better projects than the latest film from Amazon MGM Studios, Red One. There's no better example of Jeff Bezos having too much money to spend. Amazon awarding a film about an elf looking for a kidnapped Santa Claus with a $250 million production budget is quite something. One would have to think a large part of the budget went to paying The Rock and Chris Evans, but the question should be, is either actor worth the cost? Not nowadays. On his best day, The Rock, being a leading man of a film that's not already an already established franchise, is good for about $400 million worldwide. Despite the box office reality, Rock ended up costing the film $100 million. Yes, you read that right. How? Not only was The Rock paid $50 million for his investment in the film, including production credits for him and his studio $7, but some questionable behavior behind the scenes cost the film major delays and another $50 million. On the flip side, Chris Evans will take anything that he can get. Sorry, having a hard time for some reason. Take anything he can get since the last time he was in a film backed by a streaming service. It was last year's Ghosted with Ana de Armas, one of the worst films of the entire year, where he played a little beta boy. With The Rock betting his reputation on the success of this movie, even going as far as comparing it to Oppenheimer and IMAX, the question is, was all the effort really worth it? Short answer, is no. Oh, man. And here's like a full review. Oh, that's never mind. That's a Wicked. Yeah, I'm not gonna read through because I don't want spoilers or whatever, but man, that's a lot of money. And J.K. Simmons is usually pretty pretty reliable for a decent film. I think he was just taking a payday here. It's the only thing I can assume because yikes, man. Why'd it suck so bad? Like I said, I still want to watch it just because it's I'm always down for new Christmas films, even if they look like they're meh. Yeah, I don't know, dude. It's the Rock hasn't been anything film wise that I've given a damn about in a while. Now he's going to be in Moana 2 coming up, so that's going to do gangbusters. That's actually coming out this weekend or Thanksgiving weekend. But that's going to do amazing. And then he's going to be in the Moana live action. I showed set photos of that last week on stream. That'll do well because Moana is a huge franchise. Outside of Frozen, it's probably the most popular thing that Disney has right now. Like actual Disney. I'm not talking about Pixar. I'm not talking about Lucasfilm, although Lucasfilm is dwindling. Pixar is middling. Moana and Frozen, and they're going to keep pumping them out, man. There's going to be a Frozen 3 coming very soon. 3? I think 3, yeah. Frozen 3, and then they've already announced Frozen 3 and 4 coming. And then obviously we got the 2 Moana movies. That live action Stitch has been endearing to people. The little girl playing Lilo, everybody thinks she's absolutely freaking adorable. She is. Good casting. The CGI Stitch doesn't look bad so far. Hopefully they do a good job putting him in there. The casting is fine. I like the casting for the most part. I'll watch it. But yeah, if The Rock isn't attached to something like that, like they said, an already established franchise. If anybody listened to my latest Main Event Marks podcast, we were talking about the Fast and Furious franchise. Apparently, at the time that he was like the highest paid guy in Hollywood, he kind of saved, according to one of my co-hosts on that episode, he saved the Fast and Furious franchise because it was like teetering when The Rock came in. But I don't know. I don't like Fast and Furious. But other than that, man, he tried it with Black Adam, it was like way too late. Everybody was calling for him to be Black Adam for like ever. And by the time he did it, people were just like, nobody cares. Nobody cares. So yeah, if The Rock has to hitch his wagon to something already popular, hell, he even did it in wrestling. He hitched his wagon recently to Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, who were like the 2 top stars in the company. He'll come back. The final boss will be back and do good in WWE. But he's like a part owner of TKO, the TKO group, which owns UFC and WWE now. So he'll be back. Any hoozle. Let's get to this one. I was interested in checking this one out. It's from a site that I don't ever really use, Dexerto. Sony reportedly testing new PlayStation handheld to rival Nintendo Switch. Kind of excited about this, not gonna lie. A lot of people are crapping on it on X. I don't know why. It just, I don't know. But Sony is reportedly testing a new PlayStation handheld console that would directly compete with Nintendo Switch. I would so buy this. I'm not gonna lie. Nintendo has almost always had a handheld gaming market cornered. The juggernaut gaming company has had few competitors over the years. The Game Boy, Nintendo DS, and most recently, the Switch have all but dominated the portable market. Yet, as they try as they might, others, including Sony in past generations, haven't been able to stay afloat for long. I really wish Xbox would come out with a portable, but I don't know. People would probably cry on X about that too. But either way, however, However, a new Bloomberg report revealed that Sony is reportedly testing a brand new PlayStation handheld, one that will be a direct competitor to the Switch. So does that mean you can like plug it in and play it on the TV like the Switch? Because that's my favorite. That's how I'm going to play Hogwarts tonight. Is I'm going to plug it into the TV and play it that way. I don't feel like playing it on the handheld. The hell. My wife just texts me some random crap sometimes. But either way. However, blah, 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 blah. According to Bloomberg, Sony is developing a new portable console that would likely allow PlayStation 5 games to be played on the move, like Nintendo Switch games, which can be played anywhere. That would be perfection. This handheld is reportedly still years away, and the company may decide not to bring it to the market in the end. After all, the release of the Switch 2 is on the horizon, and there have even been talks about Microsoft looking into developing its handheld device. There you go. While Valve has succeeded with its portable gaming console, the Steam Deck, neither Sony nor Microsoft has been able to break into the market in a big way. Though that could soon change. I mean, if they make quality games that you can play on the go, and they do it in a decent way, it's got good graphics and whatever, because that's the one holdup of the Switch, is they have to kind of dumb down the graphics a little bit, for lack of a better word, to get it on the Switch, and they had to figure out a way to do that, which is why Switch games, if it's multi-platform, the Switch version usually comes out later. That's why Hogwarts Legacy came out way later, because they had to figure out how to get it onto the Switch and kind of tone it down a little bit. While Sony released the Portal in 2023, the need to be connected with the internet to stream games does not make it a direct rival to the Switch's easy access. What? Yeah, I would say. However, sources told Bloomberg later in the report that the initial plan was for the Portal to function as a standalone device and be the PlayStation competitor to Nintendo. Before the Portal, the last time Sony developed a handheld console was the PS Vita, which sold approximately 10 to 15 million units throughout its lifespan. Ew. Sony spokesperson was asked to comment directly, but declined to do so. However, given that this news is now out in the open, there's a chance the company will have more to say in the matter soon. Yeah, like I said, that would be awesome if we could get a portable PlayStation 5. But yeah, the whole internet connection thing that they're so heavily reliant on with a lot of PlayStation 5 games would definitely hold that down. And I can understand gamers being apprehensive about that. And plus, like the article said, they have yet to put out a good quality portable system. They've tried it twice and just nothing. So, but I'm excited if they can figure it out, kind of hammer out the kinks and all that good stuff, and I can actually, I would buy that to play PlayStation 5 games on, because I like to play on the go, or I like to go, wherever in my house and play and not bogart the TV all the time. So, I don't know. That's why I like my Switch and why I bought Hogwarts Legacy on the Switch instead of buying it for anything else. And obviously I like the Nintendo games that are on there too. I think Hogwarts is the only non-exclusive game I bought. Anyway, I've got another website that I never use for a story here. It is Polygon. I know a lot of people hate this website, but sorry, my wife is like I said, she texts me weird crap. She doesn't pay attention, like spell check or whatever, and send me weird emojis before she sends it. She's like, "Oh, that was by accident." I'm like, "Okay." Most of the time I can figure out what she's saying, but not right now. Anyway, yeah, a lot of people don't like Polygon, me included. They usually have a pretty biased stance on certain things. But my buddy told me about this story last night, and I was like, dude, send me the link. And this was what it was. But I want to go over this. There's a couple stories about Star Wars Outlaws. Actually, I want to touch on. One is from that park place that we'll cover here in just a few moments. But first, Star Wars Outlaws update cuts polarizing forced stealth, but players are still torn. Frustrating insta-fail scenarios should be a thing of the past. I don't know. I'll give my opinion here in just a second on this, but the latest Star Wars Outlaws update is a doozy, focusing mostly on removing one of the biggest issues players had with the game, forced stealth. Quote, player choice has always been a core focus of Star Wars Outlaws, but after listening to your feedback, we've realized there's more we can do to give you even greater freedom, creative director Drew Reckner wrote in a post on Ubisoft's website. Quote, restrictions like do not raise the alarm or do not get caught in quests were forcing players into stealthy playstyles, limiting the ability to choose whether to use combat or not. As a result, some quests could feel frustrating or unfair. Oh, are they unfair? Oh. We also found that detecting mechanics could be unpredictable and inconsistent as well. I mean, something like that, yeah, you need to fix it. But you're changing the whole game for these noobs? Weak sauce, man. While sneaking will remain a viable option, according to Reckner, getting caught will no longer send players packing back to the last checkpoint. The game's state will instead transition into combat, allowing protagonist Kay Vest to blast her way out of a sticky situation. Syndicate districts, which previously allow stealth, will now also let players choose a more direct combat-focused approach if their reputation with the local gang is less than stellar. Yikes. What does this say here? Getting past all that. Community reception to the update has been largely positive, with many saying Star Wars Outlaws is approaching a level of polish it should have at launch. Folks were bouncing off the game because of the forced stealth, reads one happy comment of the game's official subreddit. Quote, that was flat out non-negotiable for some people. I got through it, but if they can reach a larger audience with an adjustment, go for it. Not sure if going full Rambo is the best way to approach most situations, wrote another user, but at least if you screw up in the stealth, it isn't the end of the world. Dude, as someone who plays games without the HUD, I hate the change to add NPC detection and state indicators, wrote a third, proving you can't please everyone. You cannot turn these new ones off despite all options available. Wah. Dude, these people are just whiny little babies and noobs. Every game has something like that. I mean, yeah, you can argue a lot of games you can transition. Oh, you got caught. Now you can battle your way out. But not every game. There are a lot of games you do the stealth. If you don't do what the level tells you to do, you go back. Period. Like, you can have little checkpoints along the way. Like, I get that. Whatever. It's still kind of a cop-out, but I get it. But you're changing the whole game. Oh, this is making it more polished. No, it's not. You're nerfing it. You're dumbing it down for losers who can't beat the game. But I'm not shocked that that is the player base for this abysmal effing game. Speaking of which, oh, man. Let's look at this from that park place. Oh, man. Star Wars Outlaws sees abysmal player count in first 24 hours on Steam as Ubisoft failed again. Quick answer, yes. They have. The game apparently sucks and is broken in quite a few areas. I covered that multiple times. Star Wars Outlaws debuted on Steam yesterday, and many were wondering if the troubled Ubisoft title would finally find its audience on PC. Turns out, no, it won't. When was this published? 22nd. So 3 days ago. Okay. There's the Steam charts. 1582 is the peak, I guess. As of this writing, the title, Ubisoft admitted, underperformed upon its debut, has achieved a maximum all-time concurrent player count of 1,582 people. With the weekend coming, that number is expected to rise. However, it remains to be seen by how much. I haven't seen updates on that. Star Wars Outlaws was a buggy title from launch, with game-breaking glitches hindering player progress. Ubisoft offered early access to players who bought the game's special edition. However, a glitch and subsequent update wiped early access save files. Oh my God, utterly undoing the premium benefit for anyone who shelled out the cash. Wow. Additionally, the forced stealth missions were a nightmare for players due to clunky mechanics and bugs that were forcibly move the player, or would forcibly move the player, out of cover, as seen in the video above. Oh man. Is that what? Oh, what the? They force her into that? Oh, what the? What? Holy cow. Holy cow. Okay. So, what kind of glitching is that? Okay, so I still stand by what I said. If you're like crying that you have to do stealth in a mission, then you just shouldn't play the game. They shouldn't change the game and nerf it for you because you're a loser. On the other hand, fix this crap. That is unacceptable. And that's what I was saying from before. I've covered this multiple times that this game was full of bugs. The game reportedly sold around 1 million units in its first month. Insider Gaming's Grant Taylor Hall wrote, "We have secured a current sales figure from sources close to the game. At the time of writing, Star Wars Outlaws has just ticked over 1 million sales worldwide. All available public metrics indicate the game's sales completely stagnated soon after the game was released." Now, that's what happens when you release a broken game. Oh, so not good. Not doing well for Star Wars Outlaws. Well, whatever. Rest in piss. Ubisoft as a whole has just been like so trash, and they've delayed Assassin's Creed Shadows because everybody complained about it, and they said they're fixing certain aspects of the game, which I don't even know. Hopefully that it's playable on day one for the people that actually give a damn, because too many of these gaming companies rely on day one or week one patches. You shouldn't even have a giant patch to fix major bugs in your first month. I argued with, or I made this point to a friend of mine last night because we were talking about this game and them overhauling everything. I'm like, day one and week one patches are such a freaking cop out. You released a game you knew was broken, and you made people waste their time on it. And then this one was the worst of all because like the early access people, like I mentioned, got their crap completely wiped after a patch. So what was the whole point of getting it early? That's why I will never buy a game right away ever again. Never. Because they're all this way now. It shouldn't be commonplace where we are paying them to be their beta testers. Every gaming company does this nowadays, and they have been for years. It's pathetic, and people keep giving these gaming companies their money. Like, no. Once you fix it, then I'll buy it. Rant over. I have one final story to cover here. I'm going to try to stream today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. I'm going to try, not promising anything. But so all 3 days are going to be a little more bite-sized, like hour-long streams to make it a little easier to digest. The hell? Somebody's requesting money from me through PayPal. No. I didn't buy anything through PayPal. Anyway, Hoozle. We're wrapping up with wrestling. I just wanted to cover this because I don't know much about the WWE ID program. I did see, I swear to God, there's a guy in the ID program. His name, his nickname is Evil Gay. So I'm like, is there a good gay to counteract you? That'd be hilarious. He needs to team up with. Has anybody seen Gain, the gay Kane, where he like does this for the fire and then he turns his arms like that, like, and he wears like rainbow colored Kane outfits. It's hilarious. He's one of my favorite Kane ripoffs. They did have Blue Kane for a while, and then they've got Cocaine. It's yeah, stupid but kind of funny. Here we go. Tony Khan responds to the creation of WWE's ID program. Over the past few weeks, WWE has created a new program, WWE ID, which scouts the independents in search of best talent. There was one guy, Cappuccino Jones or something like that, and like his moves are named after coffee. It's kind of funny, but the goal is to create a pathway for independent wrestlers to foster a career in WWE. While it's unclear exactly how this will affect companies like AEW and TNA, reports claim that the contracts have a right of refusal policy, so theoretically, it could stop a talent from appearing in other companies. Well, you take the good with the bad, I guess. Tony Khan says WWE ID is something to keep an eye on. In case he wants to threaten more legal action. Let's see. New program he talked about it during the Full Gear media scrum. Quote, "It's interesting. I don't really know how it's going to work. I understand there's some kind of right of refusal aspect. We haven't come up where it's been a conflict yet," Khan said. I do think it's going to affect the independent scene in some ways. We've had a really great experience here over the years, bringing in young wrestlers through the pandemic. The best place for independent wrestlers to get work was at AEW and on AEW Dark and Elevation, shows that were watched by a total of like 10 people. As far as how this will change his signing philosophies moving forward, Khan expects to continue signing talent from the independents, but WWE ID is just a different mechanism. Quote, "The women and men in AEW, we've seen so many great wrestlers work their way up from the independents. We've signed big free agents, and we have a lot of homegrown day one people. It's a great mix," he continued. "I expect we'll keep signing great talent off the independents. I do think it's a different mechanism. It's something to keep an eye on. It hasn't created major conflicts of anything yet, but I imagine it will definitely influence the independent wrestling scene. It's definitely something to keep an eye on." How many times can you say that, man? I guess here are some of the ones. 20 independent wrestling stars. They've got Kylie Ray most recently. She was never going to go back to AEW anyway, so that one's not a big miss for them. Hopefully, she's okay in the ring. I haven't seen too much of her, but from what I've seen, she's okay. She does kind of like a old school Bayley knockoff, but I don't know. The independent wrestling fans are gonna be like, "How dare you compare them?" And whatever. They used to scree about that in the past and spurg out anytime somebody made that comparison. Kylie Ray's okay, but hopefully this one actually works out 'cause she leaves everywhere. Let's see. Freedom Ramsey, Jack Cartwheel, hell of a name, Jordan Oasis, and many more. As for AEW, they've picked up Bobby Lashley, MVP, and Shelton Benjamin, who are leading the Hurt Syndicate. Let's see. There are reports that former TNA talent Speedball Mike Bailey could debut too. He did not, as far as I'm aware. I don't think he's going to AEW. Could be wrong, but let's see. Is there any? I know. I'm happy for the Hurt Syndicate. I don't think, unfortunately, and everybody goes right to racism, but every company goes through ebbs and flows of who's on top, who they can fit in, and whatever. It just wasn't time for the Hurt Syndicate. I think they could have did some good work against the Bloodline if they were still there, but they're doing good in AEW so far. I think that's where they belong for now. It's a good place for them. They may end their careers there. They may not. I mean, Shelton and MVP are pretty old. Not that Bobby's a spring chicken, but speaking of which, MVP just appeared at. Don't want that playing. Whoa. There we go. All right. Anyway, my bad. MVP just appeared at Josh Barnett's Bloodsport real recently. Sorry, I had like copyrighted concert footage on my projector. Didn't want that playing behind me and getting dinged. But yeah, MVP was in the main event, took on Josh Barnett at Bloodsport recently. Trying to see Jade Cargill is out of action. If anybody has seen that recently, Cody Rhodes will take on Kevin Owens at Saturday night's main event, December 14th. That's a Saturday in Long Island. Those are like the big stories going on right now. June. Oh no, that's an old story. Never mind. Claudio Castagnoli revealed as Jon Moxley's emissary versus Shota Umino at Wrestle Dynasty. They're cool, I guess. And then Scrum Notes. Yeah, Tony Khan talking about ID, Kenny Omega, Ricky Starks. I don't like these post-show press conferences from either company. It's not an AEW dig. I don't like it from anyone. But that's just me. There's a guy I like to follow. If anybody goes and follows Apron Bump podcast, good retro wrestling podcast. But he also comments on X on current events going on. Let me see if I can find his actual Twitter tag or X tag, whatever, so I can shout him out. Kyle from Apron Bump. He's at Apron Bump. Go check him out. But he tweets out every time. He's like, it's almost as if press conferences for a fictionalized sport are effing stupid. Yeah, because you get some really dumb clips coming out of a lot of these, like when Tony Khan was wearing that big poofy hat and the giant stupid glasses, and he's having a comment on some like SA allegations against Chris Jericho, where people were calling him a creep. It looks stupid, and some people end up saying stupid things. Sometimes you get some good clips out of it. The yeet bullcrap started at a WWE press conference, whatever. And then there was the one everybody was attacking Triple H for the longest time about saying, well, I don't see color, stuff like that. Okay, but yeah, so a lot of stupid crap happens at these press conferences, and people dissect everything, and it's just, yeah, it's effing stupid. Well, thank you all for joining me here today. I have not taken time out for station identification at all, because you can see right here all the social media. Hopefully you can read it. If not, on X, Gab, and Instagram, I'm at Marks_on_media. On Facebook, it's Marks on Media Tube. And on True Social, Blue Sky, I just signed up for that recently, and Getter, I'm at Marks on Media, all one word. So I signed up for all the conservative social medias like True Social, whatever, but I also signed up for Blue Sky because I'm like, why would I cut myself off to them? I don't really care what your politics are. I just want you to watch my videos, watch my live streams, listen to me, subscribe and all that. If you want to subscribe on YouTube, by the way, if you're not watching on YouTube, you're watching on, I am live on Kick. I'm live on YouTube, Rumble, Locals. I would love for you to follow me on, or subscribe to me rather, on YouTube. It's youtube.com/@MarksOnMedia. And I have the full, if you're into retro wrestling, I have a full playlist on there of the Main Event Marks podcast when it was still going. And I posted a 2-part podcast, like I said, dedicated to the memory of my former co-host and best friend, Greg. I had his little brother on there and 3 of our friends to memorialize him, talk about wrestling, talk about figure hunting and whatever, because he was a big figure collector and whatnot. Talk about sports and all that good stuff. So that was a good time had by all, and it went forever. So I had to split it into 2 parts, but it's good either way. But it's all the archives for the podcast are not just in audio form on iTunes or excuse me, Apple Podcasts and Spotify and wherever, but you can also find it in the Main Event Marks playlist on my YouTube channel. Rumble, if you want to go check me out on Rumble, it's rumble.com/C/Marks on Media. If you want to see the Main Event Marks, I don't go all the way back with the archives on there, but if you want to check that out, God, I think my animals are messing with my tree. So I found 2 out of 3 of the legs for my tree, so I'm like propping it up right now. I think they knocked it over. Anyway, but if you want to check Main Event Marks out on Rumble, like I said, all the archives aren't up on there, but it goes back pretty far. It's rumble.com/C/Marks on, or excuse me, Main Event Marks. I have all of that up there. I might start uploading the archives just for extra on Rumble, and hopefully people check them out. But either way, that does it for us today. I appreciate each and every one of you being here with me today. I will try to stream same time again tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel on YouTube, Locals, Rumble, Kick, Facebook. I'm live on Facebook. So go check me out on all of there. Hit me up on social media, subscribe, follow, all that goodness. And I will definitely talk with you. But hopefully 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern time again tomorrow. And also hopefully same time again on Wednesday. But we'll see. For now, I will see you next time. Thank you all for being here with me. And hold on. Here we go. I never have it queued up, ever. See you later.